One of the top rookies in this league this year is a face-off man, Mike Sisselberger out of Lehigh for the Archers. And he'll be taking on TD Ierlan at the dot today, one of the top face-off men in the world, Team USA at the most recent World Championships. Big battle for the ball in the middle of the field to start this game. Archers with possession first.
Only a 52-second shot clock. Off face-off wins just 32, so you got to be ultra efficient in your sub game and attack right. Blocks his incredible passing ability.
And it hasn't been the easiest season for him coming out of the box, but Coach Bates said he can't tip his hat to Grant enough for the way that he is receptive to coaching. When Coach Bates is on plane rides home, he pulls up his Grant folder and he's talking through different angles that he can take, and so it's a great relationship the two of them have.
But he's home right now. He's back at attack, and Fields and in O'Keefe, it's a match made in heaven. If he's healthy, playing back at attack and distributing the ball, it completes this unit.
That was Isaiah Davis-Allen having to take that draw because on the last one you had a violation. TD Ierlan had a violation, so he couldn't take that draw. Couldn't get a good shot though as it goes back out shooting Redwoods 6-0 in the game, and Grant Amon has been the star early. He's assisted on all three of those Archers goals. Have been a part of all three of them.
Yeah, he's feeling it. You just know how comfortable he is. And watching him play midfield, you valued and you really respected the effort from midfield, but it didn't belong, right? Like, it just didn't match for some players. And
super efficient catch and release.
Yes, super efficient catch and release from the shooter as well in Fields, and the accuracy on a righty goalie paints that bottom left corner.
This time Hasek takes the draw and wins possession. O'Keefe took the hit. Lost the ball. Bond gets it back. Good pass. Oh, shoulder shot. Whoa, wave it off. It was a thing of beauty. Both the pass from Bond and then the finish from Fields was exquisite, but it won't count.
The interesting thing is when Matt Moore got injured, they didn't put Amon in attack. They put LeClaire there because they wanted to keep the continuity of Amon in the midfield for when Moore got back. Moore is now back. And Amon's in attack, not LeClaire, who they had previously subbed in for Moore.
Amon also has been struggling with that hamstring for almost 2 years now, right? So maybe he's almost at 100% now.
Battle for the loose ball. Look at Sexton and Connors going at it. Sisselberger picks it up. He's going to need help. Won't get it. Now it goes to TD Ierlan, and Sisselberger gets it back. Finally, Merle picks it up. And possession granted to Redwoods, but they're on the opposite side here. Now they're going to try and make something happen with their substitution patterns.
Right between the Atlas and the Redwoods late in the season, he comes to the Redwoods. He's with John Grant Jr., who was his offensive coordinator when he was with the Denver Outlaws in the MLL. He had a career year in 2018, so he's back in an offense. He feels a lot more comfortable. This trade has worked out for the Redwoods.
Old school crank at the midfield stripe. Shot high, and Dobson goes to make the save. Now he'll look to clear quickly.
It's just an old school give and go.
But when players are so comfortable together, they know it. It's the body language. It's the history. If I give it to Grant, I know he's going to give it back to me.
Epple challenged that play out to the midfield. O'Keefe was able to get out of trouble. And once he got it to Amon, he realized he had Epple trailing behind him.
These two have been battling at the clamp. Grant and Sisselberger collided. You can hear that thunder up here.
Grant Amon is dominating this game. Today, we know about Tom Schreiber, league MVP. The best player on the field for the first 16 minutes, hands down.
Arden. Glazner already barked out instructions before we even get the face-off. Appreciate the nod, though, Eddie, with knowing that we've discussed all the maturations with the lineup.
Wants our job.
Yeah.
I mean, your flesh.
He's also banged up from last week in Boston. He was dealing with a left quad tightness. So when I spoke to Nat earlier before the game started, he said Tim Troutner's going to be ready to go.
TD Ierlan was ready to go. That's going to be a juice goal for Redwoods. They needed some juice.
TD, over the years, I think is a very underrated lacrosse player off of a face-off win. Right here, it's 2 versus 3 in the league in face-off specialists. And no one picks up TD. They're more concerned about his outlets, right? They squeeze defensively and hold their matchups, but they allow him to go right down Hempstead Turnpike.
But I don't blame him, right? I mean, TD came in today 1 of 9 shooting. If I'm going to hedge my bet, I'd rather go TD versus rotate off Pennell or Berg or Garnsey.
It's a good point, but he made him pay.
Yeah.
Barr picks up the ground ball in the middle.
I mean, at a certain point, you just got to play the odds. Who would you rather see shooting there to win enough of those battles?
Dana's on the field. Dana, you hearing anything on Connor Fields?
Yeah, you can see him in a sling on his right shoulder. He is out for an indefinite amount of time, but I was told he will not return this PLL season, so he's going to go to the doctor and get further imaging and evaluation.
That's
so
brutal.
Really big loss for the Archers, but he's also a great guy too, so you hate to see someone out.
That is a huge loss. Dobson makes a great save.
Keegan PLL advanced stats, 5% off the dodge. He's got his second goal today off of a dodge.
Now, when he was playing midfield, by the time they substituted and the shot clock started to tick away, it puts you in a different mental perspective. When you're playing attack and you marinate on that end of the field, you think differently. Your approach is different. You get the ball from an exchange from behind with more time and more comfort.
No more Connor Fields. He's out for the rest of the year. Matt Moore is banged up. So much is on Grant Amen's shoulders. And
he catches it anticipating the release.
Goalie change for Redwoods. Jack Kelly going to the bench. Tim Troutner, the lefty, now in the game for the Redwoods. So maybe a surprising development there after the game that Kelly had last week.
He is nicked up. We know that.
Yeah, maybe that's it. He hurt his leg last week.
He had a good weekend out in Utah. And I will tell you, when you're Tim Troutner, and Nat St. Laurent has all the confidence in the world of Troutner. He's been a starter in this league. Without a warm-up, 90-plus miles an hour, no shot.
What's going on, Dana?
I just confirmed with Coach Nat St. Laurent that
Let's go under the helmet, powered by Cash App.
Going for you. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. What's up, brother? Nice to meet you. Yeah. You guys want to take the first one? You should take the first draw. That'll be fun. Here, come here, brother. Who's the face-off guy? You? Let's go. You and TD have the same head. That's cool. Same color and everything.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome, man.
Don't tell him.
Hunt the ball. Oh! Nothing! In the back! That was late, Maddie.
One of the real genuine dudes in this league, Mike Sisselberger, rookie out of Lehigh, face-off man. He's our player spotlight presented by Champion. What moves you?
How much fun did we have with him in Utah, right? Talking to him outside the locker room in the hallway.
All his meathead moments when he was a wrestler. He's a great wrestler. High school and at Lehigh as well. Thought about moving on and maybe wrestling at Iowa, right?
Yeah,
thought about
he's
that.
so tough. Between him and you, I felt like the weakest human ever.
I wouldn't even want any piece of Sis, man.
And at the All-Star game, in the creative shot contest, he did a pro wrestling homage.
The intensity, though, the wrestling and the one-on-one mentality, you versus an opponent.
Cash App playoffs on ESPN. Got to look at Tony Resch there.
He's a smart man, too. He's better off doing ice cream than veal parms or something, right?
You can find some pretty good veal parms around this place. You and I, we've been to a few places here on
the margin for error is very slim. You time it perfectly. It's critical in your warm-ups. You feel and taste the way the turf is playing that day because every turf is different. But that's an impossible stop for a guy like Dobson to play that trajectory and the bounce.
First assisted goal on the day for the Redwoods. Not only is the turf different every day, but it's changing as the day progresses because now
that they wanted the Redwoods to win so they avoid chaos. They only had 2 losses in the regular season, one of them to chaos.
Ierlan with the pass. Wow. Dobson, you can hear that one.
You know, you look at that playoff history, too, and I have no problem with that.
We don't have a good deal. It's like, if you're going to press out and be flying around defensively, then like, yeah, I'm going to bury an empty net.
If that was settled and you had a play that you developed for it, too, I'd have a problem with it. But if you're going to press, what do you want them to do?
Just get slashed? Like, no thanks.
Career high 8 points for Grant Ament. Career high 4 points off goals for Ament. Merle will shoot, he'll score.
Get Dobson out.
You know, the Redwoods are these guys that just hasn't gotten the credit. He's a two-way junkyard dog type midfielder. It's one of those reasons why Nat St. Laurent only dresses 4 offensive middies, because he has some two-way guys like him, guys like Brian Tevlin, that you could keep on a little bit longer.
Face-off violation against Sisselberger. Isaiah Davis-Allen took the draw. As even TD Ierlan's been banged.